How long have you been in the music industry for? Rough estimate.
I want to say professionally, I've been in the music industry since. That's a hard question because I went full time in 2015. And then 2016, that's when I had that moment where I backed away from everything and just kind of like internally did my own healing. And then I came back to it in 2017, 2018. So I've been going full force since 2018, but I've been doing it professionally since 2015, and I started rapping in 2013.
And for time reference, it's August 2021 now. Now, in your opinion, from what you've seen, what you've experienced, what's the biggest mistake female rappers make?
The biggest mistake female rappers make. Ooh, that's a good question. The biggest mistake female rappers make.
Take your time.
What are the mistakes I've made?
And if it's not the biggest, maybe it's the first thing that pops in your head.
I guess female rappers compare themselves to other female rappers, and I think that's a mistake because comparing yourself to others, it shuts out the thing that makes you different, which is you being you. Because no one can be you more than you can be you. No one can do it better than you. So I wish I knew that earlier. I wish I knew that, like, being myself around people, being myself in my music, being myself just 100% of the time was the best way to be. There was a lot of times where when people would reject me, even in school, when I was in school, like, I wanted to find out a way to be accepted, or like I wanted to dress a certain way, or like just so people can like help me fit in. And I think that's a very big mistake because being a female rapper, the thing that makes you stand out is uniqueness. And when you try to be unique by trying to be what everyone else is doing, that doesn't make you unique and it doesn't make you stand out. It just makes you just like everyone else. I have a line in one of my songs that say, everybody looks the same when they're trying to act different. Everybody acts the same when they're trying to act different. And I think that you definitely shouldn't do that. You should focus on what makes you unique in your own right, like in your own self, by you being you. What makes you your truest self. So don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't try to be like anyone else. Don't just see what someone else is doing and just go run and go do that, because that's not going to help you stand out. You definitely got to like be unique in your own right, in your own way. So that's probably, I think, a big mistake that we make.
And that's something you have personally done in the past.
There's definitely, when I started rapping, I would see like Nicki Minaj, and I would just like see, oh, I need to dress like this, or I need to sound like that, and I didn't. And I think that's why like that kind of like led me in a way to be depressed, just because everyone around me was telling me as well, like, you need to be sexier, like you need to talk about sex, like you need to show your ass, like you need to wear wigs. And I wasn't doing that, and it was definitely challenging for me, because I felt like if I'm not doing that, I was doing something wrong, but I didn't want to do it. So I was just like, well, what do I do? And I was just like confused. In the very beginning of my artistry, I was confused because everyone was telling me like, you need to sell sex. And me, I didn't want to do it. And I had no one else to look up to, like, what do I rap about? What I look like? So early pictures of me when I'm rapping, like my style's a little funny just because I'm trying to figure it out. And I thank God that like I found myself, and like I found my own style, and I found like my own lane for sure. But it's something that I feel like a lot of female rappers struggle with, and a lot of female rappers are doing what everyone else has done, and I don't think that that's gonna help you stand out.
Why didn't you want to rap about sex at that time?
I didn't want to rap about sex because it made me uncomfortable. That's really what it was. Like, I know a lot of people don't rap about it because their family or, like, for, you know, the kids or, like, you know, just all this stuff. But it just really makes me uncomfortable, like, to mention it. Like, just, like, to write it down and to spit that, it just makes me feel weird, you know? I don't know why, but that's just what it is. Like, that's really what it is.
Now, when you said people were telling you this stuff or saying this stuff to you,
Mm-hmm.
not only just about sex, but wigs and dressing and things of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
was this just friends, acquaintances telling you these kinds of things, or were there music industry professionals telling you this stuff?
Everybody. There was definitely friends. Friends were the first ones telling me that they would hear my music and they'd be like, "You need to be sexier." And then, like, even there'd be some fans DMing me, like, "Why don't you, you know, like, show some skin?" Or, like, "Why aren't you rapping about this?" And I'd meet industry professionals that'd be like, I met someone that the day I met him, I shook his hand and I told him I'm a female rapper. And he looked at me up and down like this. And then he was like, maybe you should change your color of your hair. And he was like changing his head like that. And he was like, yeah, I think, like, you know, one of those little one pieces that show your butt cheeks. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. And what do you rap about? Like, he's like, oh, okay, now you need to make a twerking song. A song that twerks, yeah, that'll be good in the strip club. And I was just like, the day I met him, like, I just shook his hand and he was all telling me all these things I need to change about myself. And that was weird. So, yeah, there was definitely anyone that came around. But there was a lot of people that agreed with what I was doing, which is the people that stuck around to this day, like, including my team. They they like that I don't rap about it. But I don't want people to get confused, because people who do that, like people who do rap about sex and like all that, like, more power to you. That's you. All I'm saying is that's not me, which I feel like I should be accepted, just as I accept you. You know what I mean? Like, you rap about that. Is that your truth? Dope. But this is my truth, and that should be dope for you as well.
Do you think if you did rap about any of that stuff, you would be more successful than where you're at now?
I think I'd be popping and famous and rich if I rapped about that. Honestly, I tell everyone about that. I tell you, if I rapped about my body parts, like, I'd be in a mansion right now, you know? But it's not what I want. That's not how I want to get there.
Now, what are your thoughts on the rap game in 2021? Generally speaking.
The rap game 2021, like, in all honesty, I think that there's a little lack of, like, pushing the envelope, a little lack of
and this doesn't
risk.
have to resort to female rappers. This is just
In general, right?
the rap game, generally speaking. Yes.
Yeah. In general, I feel like a lot of people are not taking risks. I think that a lot of people are just recycling a lot of old ideas. That's what I'm noticing. But the people who are, like, taking risks and standing out and being unique, like, they're the ones that are succeeding, just because it's, like, such a refreshing moment to find someone that's not doing the same old thing that everyone else is doing. And I think right now music is kind of stuck right there. Music's kind of stuck in, like, everyone doing the same old thing. When I see someone like Doja Cat, for example, like, everything she does is so unique and different and new ideas. Like, I just saw her rap in a pool of, like, white water, and she was, like, splashing around. I'd never seen that, and I was like, wow, she's a genius. I love her for that. Like, that made me even more of a fan of her. Versus, like, I just see someone, like a guy with all name all the things that a rapper needs, and now he's standing on stage and just standing there and then rapping the same lyrics that everyone's rapping. And, like, who's going to remember that? You know what I mean? I think that I'm noticing that a lot. A lot of people that just, like, are doing the same things. And I think that the people who are stepping out of the box and the people who are taking risks and challenging themselves to be unique, like, truly unique, something that's never been seen before, I think that's cool. I think those are the ones that are, like, going to go far. And I think we're waiting for the next big ones, you know? I don't know who, as far as, like, the up-and-coming rappers that I've heard that are going to be, like, the GOATs. So, I hope I'm one of them.
Now, when it comes to the music industry at this point, what annoys you the most about it, if anything?
Money-hungry people who don't care about the art and only care about money. Those are the people that annoy me the most, for sure, period.
On the opposite end of the spectrum. Well, before I even ask you the other side of the spectrum, do you have a solution to this problem?
Yeah, don't give in to people who want to take your soul and turn it into something that it's not in order to sell you, put you on a shelf and sell you to the world. I think that that whole cookie cutter, this has worked before, so let's make money thing is not for me. I think that it works. If I wanted to make money right now, I could go do that. I could go be that next cookie cutter rapper and make a lot of money and just, that not go down in history, not make a change in this world, not break the mold, kind of play it safe and be forgotten about eventually. I don't want that. I want people to remember me. I want to go down in history. I want to be remembered. I want to make changes. I want to mess it up. You know what I mean? I want to come in here. Like, I want people to know me. I want to be a rapper's rapper. I want to be an artist's artist. Like someone who rappers look to for inspiration and to study. That's just what I want. And I eventually want to write songs for people. Like, I want to become a songwriter eventually for other people. And, like, I want to become a director of someone that they can come to me just because they love my creativity and my worth and, like, my art. That's where I feel like I'm going to be successful in. So, yeah.
Now, on the other side of the spectrum, what's the best thing about the music industry at this point, if anything?
The best thing about the music industry, let's see. I love meeting new people who are great at what they do and sharing moments, ideas, collaborations with. When I can collaborate with someone who I feel is a genius in like their lane, like for instance, like a photographer, a videographer, another rapper, another singer, like when I can collaborate with someone who I adore or appreciate their art or what they bring to the table, I love that. Like, I think that money gets in the way of that a lot of the times. Like, I made a lot of songs and a lot of dope beats with producers that at the end of the day, they wanted to charge me an arm and a leg just to put the song out, to put my vocals on their beat. And I'm like, man, we missed out on a great song just because you got greedy. You know what I mean? Like, that sucks. And I think that if we had less of that and more of, like, let's put out a great song, there'd be more great songs in the world. And, like, the music industry is suffering because of greediness. And I think that the more we can just want to put out a great product and just for the love of it, the better the art gets. So, yeah.
When it comes to collaborating with these geniuses and things of that nature, who do you think in your past has been the best collaboration for you or the most genius person you've had a chance to collaborate with so far?
That's a hard question because I've collaborated with a lot of people that were amazing. Let me see. So, the fact that when I ended up doing all that work with GT Garza, he taught me so much that I didn't know or realize as a rapper. He is an amazing rapper. He is a master at his craft, 100%. To see him work in the studio was really amazing to see that happen just because he knows what he's doing, he knows what he wants, he knows where he's going with things. And he sharpened me as a rapper to become, he made me want to be as great as he is. So he's someone that I really look up to in hip-hop. Other than that, like, just to be able to work with the greats of my time, such as Bun B, to see Bun B in the studio, like, I never thought in a million years that I would be in the studio with Bun B. And I was, and we collaborated on something really, really big for ESPN. And to see him work, like, he was writing with a pen and paper. And I usually write on my phone just because I like to have all my notes together, really easy to find and stuff. But the day I worked with Bun B, I was with pen and paper as well, just because, like, that was the vibe. And it helped me, like, create in a different way. And I really, really liked it. And we made a really, really cool song after that. See Baby Bash in the studio was something that I always wanted to do as well, and that was really fun collaboration to, like, see how he worked. I was so inspired by that session that I wrote my verse in like 10 minutes tops. Like, it was like 10, not even 15 minutes, just because I was like, yo, like, this is a great moment in my life, and I was so inspired at that moment. And I love when, like, I'm collaborating with someone and they spark that in me, because that makes me shine. Like, their shine is making me shine, and, like, that's just, I love that. Let me see, who else have I collaborated with? That was amazing. Okay, so there's this kid. His name is Skritzy, and he is honestly an amazing, amazing producer. He's a genius. He's probably one of the most genius producers I've ever met in my life. And he makes you come out like he makes something come out of you that you didn't even know was in you, just because that's how genius he is. He's a musical genius. And I think that he helped me definitely. He helped shape me a little bit on, like, who I was as well when I was first starting out. And Diaz Jr., he is also a producer and a musical genius as well. He's the one that I feel like keeps up with Skritzy as well. Like, him and Skritzy, they understand music in a way that I haven't seen myself understand it, which I'm learning from them. But it's really amazing to see them, like, create, because they're doing it from a different place that they've just been doing it since they were so young, that it's ingrained in them in a different way than it is for me. And I love to see that in the studio, and that inspires me.
And for transparency, Diaz is in this room with us.
Yes.
So are you saying that because he's in the room with us, or you truly mean that?
No, I truly mean that, and I tell him that all the time. I tell him, like, you're the only other producer that I feel can, like, that is as dope as Skritzy, because, like, if you know Skritzy or if you've heard of Skritzy, like, he really, really, really is a genius. And Diaz Jr., he understands music the same way. Like, he's even created beats that I feel like there's no way I would have ever been able to even think about, like, going in that direction, and he'll go there just because of how he's grew up around music his whole life. His father is a musician as well, and he's been playing, like, instruments since he was really young. So I think that it's really cool to see him work. And if you guys know Diaz Jr. music, like, you'll know, like, he's got that. He got the juice.